Conditionals and Loops Exercises. To consolidate what you learned on the last video about conditionals and loops, we will now have some exercises. Exercise 1. Check whether a number entered by the user is positive, negative, or 0. First, we start to enter the number. To ask the number of the user, we use this input right here. It will open a window. Then we write a number. We convert that number to a floating point number. We store it in this variable, and then we work with this variable. And then we use if, elif, else clause. And if the num we entered is higher than 0, we print that number and the message that is positive. If the number is below 0, we print the number and the message that is negative. Else, we print everything else, which in this case it's that the number is actually 0. I entered 5, okay, which is positive. Now let's try it right here. Okay, that's right. The num. Now we can use the same message. We'll do everything right as it is just to practice. It's a negative number, it's okay. And now the final else. We don't need any clause, any logical clause. It's 0. And we try here a different number. Let's go for 10. It's a positive number. Let's see how it works with negative numbers. Oh, okay, that's a negative number. And let's see the 0. It's 0. Okay. Exercise 2. Let's write a Python program that asks the user to enter a positive integer n, then uses a for loop to calculate and display the sum of all integers from 1 to n inclusive, which means we have to consider also n. For example, if the user enters 5, the program should calculate 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, which is 15. And the solution is, if you have an n, you ask the user for the input, you enter your number, and then it converts to an integer, okay, and stores as variable n. This is the total. We start with 0, and then the total is the running sum. It starts with 0 and accumulates each number added to it. For I in range 1 until n plus 1, it said that considers from 1 to n inclusive, so we have to give here a plus 1 because, as we know, the range it doesn't consider the last number. So we want one more. For example, if it's 10, if it's 5, we put here, this will give 6, and the range will fill until 5. So range from 1 to n plus 1 generates 1, 2, 3, until here the 5. Okay. range always stops 1 before its second argument, so n plus 1 ensures that n is included. And then we have here what we want, which is the total. We sum the I defined here, okay? And then it sums to the total. And the sum of all these numbers, it's 15, okay? And that's it. So let's start here to see the solution. First, the input by the user. Then the total will start at 0 here, empty. And the total, we can write it like this. As for balls, as we know, this is the same as writing what is there equal to total plus I. And then we print the result. We can print, we just print the total here. And let's go an error here. Okay. It's usually this that I forget. It's okay. Let's start for 5, and it sums 15. And if we want to sum until 10, it will consider 11, and it's 55. I don't know by heart, but it seems okay. And for example, if it would be 5, okay, it is what we have. And that's it. Let's go for the next one. Using exercise 3, using a for loop also. And let's go here. Write a Python program that uses a for loop to find all even numbers now from 0 to 10, squares each even number, stores the results in a list, and then prints the complete list. The expected output will be 0 until 10, 4, 16, 30, 36, 64, 100. So let's first create an empty list with even for which we name even squares. Then for x in range 11, range 11 because we want until 10, and we already know that range doesn't consider the last value. Check if the number is even. We divide this by 2 and check the remainder. The remainder should be 0 if the number is even. Okay, so this should be true. Square the number that we obtain here. We square this number and add to a list. The append does that. It adds one by one until we stop at 10. So, squares of even numbers, it will be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, and we can write right here even squares for x in range. And we append to this list let's leave it like this first for us to check. Print even squares. This is not even square, okay? It's just the even numbers. The even numbers are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and now we square these numbers. Okay, and it makes sense. And that's it. Imagine that we wanted to generate a list of the same even numbers from 0 to 10, the same question but using list comprehension, which is way shorter. So we started by even squares. We square the result that we obtain. We do a for loop here. For x in range 0 to 10, 0 to 10 exactly. If the number is even, which is what this means, um, it stores that number, the square of that number, in a list. Okay, and gives this result. So let's try it right here. Even squares. X, let's do the same thing. X for exactly. And then just print that list. Not even squares list. Is it right? Even squares list, and we have here the even numbers, and now we square them, and we have the result. So this is it. This is what we learned on the last chapter. Let's go now for the next one. Thank you very much.